Now, in all actuality, this is honestly a sad time for all game developers, people associated with gaming companies, because even though this particular segment is about Sony, which just laid off approximately 900 employees worldwide, which constitutes about 8% of the PlayStation division. The decision for these layoffs is not one that only Sony is making. Obviously, throughout this year in general, like literally, we're only 3 months into the year. Studios like Bossa Studios, Unity Software, who laid off about 1,800 people, cutting nearly 25% of its staff. Twitch just laid off 500 employees. Playtika, they laid off 400 employees. Discord laid off around 17% of the company's total staff. Microsoft laid off 1,900 employees across Xbox and Activision. I mean, Microsoft's is the most egregious. If y'all know Microsoft's net worth, I mean, compare all these studios, maybe, no, not even Epic. Let me not be disrespectful. Microsoft is the big dog as far as longevity and the money is garnered. So for them to be laying off people, that's kind of insane. I mean, didn't they just sign like a huge deal with Activision, or it was some type of deal. I forget what it's called. It was around 1 billion. Maybe it was Activision who signed a deal with Microsoft and they laid off. So Activision laid off people. But, of course it's through Microsoft as well. So so now that makes sense. 'Cause I'm like Microsoft. But Microsoft is attached to Activision, so of course they laid off 1,900 employees themselves. So anyways, and then Epic Games, who laid off about 830 people. This is simply because of the economic conditions, and not to sound like Jaden Smith, but the global state of the economy is and has to be talked about at this point in time, because of course people are going to look at the gaming industry making record-breaking profits as far as last year, but the thing that you're not realizing is that the development costs are also breaking records when it comes to the past. So when you get into increasing development costs and then factor that with unpredictability when it comes to gaming, now the whole industry is facing the harsh reality that not everybody is going to have a Fortnite to keep them afloat. So now with these increasing in development costs making everything look realer than life, and the unpredictability of game sales, I think personally, after doing a lot of research, of course, that is the main reason for a lot of these layoffs. They just bit more off than they could chew and realized they had to make this up, or make this back, recoup somehow. And this is the easiest way, by cutting some of the workforce. So, of course, people are going to say it's corporate greed, but if you really follow the gaming industry, you will know that this has been a trend as far as the graphics getting better and better and better. And now we're seeing a point where game developers or game budgets are just super outlandish and not even close to how much they're bringing back as far as sales. I mean, the reason why games went from 60 to 70 isn't just some coincidence. They tried to up it a little bit. Obviously, it's not working. And the deluxe editions that's 150, you could say, oh, they up it that way. But who really buys deluxe editions, let alone buy a game when it's originally released? Some people wait till it's on discount. So with that being said, let's get back into specifically Sony. As, of course, like I said at the beginning of the segment, they laid off around 900 employees worldwide, and the affected areas or regions, I might add, is of course across America, Europe, Japan, and Asia Pacific. As PlayStation Studios London studio is set to close entirely. Goodness. And then the notable studios impacted include Insomniac Games, which of course is known for Spider-Man. Let me not disrespect them. They're known for a lot of things. Ratchet and Clank. They have a lot of different titles. Insomniac is really one of the greater developing studios. Naughty Dog, that I believe, and I'm doing this off memory, so I may get this wrong. Naughty Dog made Last of Us in Uncharted, I believe. I think they had both of those games. Maybe I'm mistaken. I think it was both of those. Guerrilla Games, I don't know what they made. Fire Sprite and others. And then, of course, these type of layoffs have to be followed by some sort of CEO statement because you can't just lay off people and not give them no reason. So Jim Ryan, the president and CEO of Sony Interactive Entertainment, came out and said the difficulty of the decision, or, expressed the difficulty of the decision and emphasized that the changing industry landscape, basically to justify why they're laying off people. And quote, not quote, but basically they are restructuring. Restructuring. Yeah, I definitely messed up that word. Restructuring. All right, there we go. Operations. So they basically let people know they was laid off by email, which is like industry standard because you don't want nobody to like leak stuff, and if you lay them off while they're there, they may like do some irreversible damage or whatever. There's a reason why they kick people out. They don't tell you why you're in office, they tell you why you're out. And if you're remote, then you end up like Rockstar and get all your stuff leaked, because if you let somebody off, which Rockstar also, I think they laid people off. Did they leave? I think they want their workers to come back to the main home base instead of working remote. So they say it's to limit leaks, but it's already been so many leaks about GTA 6 that at this point, I guess it's gonna help out a little bit. But that's basically what you get sometimes when you go against some of your workers and rub them the wrong way. They just start leaking stuff. Now, is it right? Of course not. But it's just a reality that if they feel slighted because you laid them off, they're gonna try to, well, some, not all, of course, some may try to get back at you in a malicious fashion. So with that being said, London studios is shut completely. What else? Of course, is severance benefits, things of that nature. I mean, with Sony, of course, is a severance. And they said, well, via the company, they came out with a joint statement saying that they are going to ensure the well-being of the affected individuals during this challenging period. So whatever that means. I know somebody's probably at home who used to work for Sony. Like, that was they lied to my face. Like, I still to this day, what Deontay Wilder say? He said, to this day, I still ain't been taken care of. So I know somebody probably feels some type of way with that statement that they put out. What else? Okay, so Sony joined a whole bunch of other gaming giants in announcing layoffs. Apparently, this is not the end. Like, it's gonna be a lot of layoffs throughout this year. But this is one of the bigger ones, which is why I'm reporting on it. Because if you don't know, I mean, Sony is a pretty big deal. So, let me see. So in totality, over 6,400 gaming related roles have been eliminated in 2024. Obviously, this goes back to what I started with. Companies like Microsoft, Unity, Sony have announced layoffs, in response to the market changes. I mean, a lot of people could blame blame COVID, but at this point, I think it's a lot more to do with COVID. I think COVID is a significant portion of the percentage as far as blame. But I do think the development costs getting out of hand because of them trying to make everything look realer than life is catching up with them. Also, another tidbit. I was listening to the Gaming Illuminati podcast, and one of the guys they had on as a guest basically said that there's a reason why Nintendo limits the software capabilities of the Switch, and this is why, so they can make a profit. Apparently, Nintendo is the only company that makes a profit from selling their consoles. Not PlayStation, not Xbox. It's only Nintendo. It's because they limit the capabilities of their software so that the development costs aren't through the roof. So basically, the games where you see every follicle or hair follicle and everything looking realer than life, those are the ones that are on the brink as far as not, it's more of a possibility of them not recouping in a game like an animated game or like this, yeah, like a Foam Stars type game. I think this is Foam Stars. Let me see. Yeah, a Foam Stars type game, which I was gonna cover this game, but people told me nobody cares about it, so I was like, okay, well if y'all don't care, I'm not playing it. So, anyways, that was just a side note. But just to wrap this up, because I don't want to. It really is a sad topic because a lot of people are losing their livelihood. They got to start from scratch and find another job. So the overall impact of this is just the restructuring of the gaming industry is happening right before our eyes. And this is the main year where a lot of layoffs and restructuring are going to literally reflect the broader trend in the gaming industry. So as companies realign strategies and resources to meet the evolving market demands, the challenges being faced, the companies trying to deliver a high gaming quality experience for the future is a pivotal objective to overcome in 2024. And we're just seeing the start of it with them in these layoffs. So with that being said, click my link tree in my bio. Let me know on one of my social medias. What do you think about this whole sad scenario where every gaming company is reconstructing its company by laying off a lot of people? And do you agree with it? Or if you don't, what would you propose so that not as many people have to get laid off?